The creation of the 1960 movie Elmer Gantry involved a fascinating casting process. Directed by Richard Brooks, this classic film is known for its powerful performances. For the title role, Burt Lancaster was a natural choice. He had already worked with Brooks in Blackboard Jungle and Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. Lancaster's charisma and ability to portray complex characters made him perfect for Elmer Gantry, a charming but unscrupulous evangelist. Jean Simmons was selected to play Sister Sharon Falconer, a role that required both innocence and strength. Simmons, with her extensive experience in films like Guys and Dolls and Spartacus, was an ideal fit. Her chemistry with Lancaster added depth to their on-screen relationship. The supporting cast was chosen with equal care. Shirley Jones, known for her roles in musicals, took on the challenging part of Lulu Bains, a prostitute with a complicated past. Jones's performance earned her an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress. Arthur Kennedy, an experienced character actor, was cast as Jim Lefferts, a cynical reporter. His portrayal provided a stark contrast to Lancaster's charismatic preacher. Edward Andrews, Dean Jagger, and Piper Laurie completed the ensemble, each bringing their unique talents to the film. The casting of Elmer Gantry was a crucial part of its success, showcasing a perfect blend of star power and acting prowess. The director of Elmer Gantry, Richard Brooks, was known for his unique vision and bold storytelling. He approached this film with a clear objective to expose the hypocrisy within religious organizations. Brooks was deeply influenced by the novel of the same name, written by Sinclair Lewis, and aimed to bring its biting social commentary to life on the big screen. Brooks's style was characterized by his willingness to tackle controversial subjects and his commitment to authenticity. He often clashed with studio executives who wanted to tone down the more provocative elements of his films. For Elmer Gantry, he fought to maintain the novel's critical view of evangelical Christianity, even though it was a risky move at the time. The director's collaboration with the cast and crew was marked by his meticulous attention to detail. He worked closely with actors Burt Lancaster and Jean Simmons, helping them to develop complex and nuanced performances. Lancaster, in particular, was challenged by Brooks to push beyond his comfort zone and deliver a powerful portrayal of the title character. Brooks also collaborated closely with cinematographer John Alton to create a visual style that complemented the film's themes. Alton's use of high-contrast lighting and dramatic camera angles added a sense of tension and unease, heightening the audience's awareness of the character's moral ambiguity. In addition to his work with the cast and crew, Brooks was also heavily involved in the film's production design. He insisted on using real locations instead of studio sets, believing that this would add to the film's sense of authenticity. The result is a film that feels grounded in reality, despite its larger-than-life characters and dramatic plot. Overall, Richard Brooks's directorial vision for Elmer Gantry was marked by his commitment to authenticity, his willingness to tackle controversial subjects, and his meticulous attention to detail. Through his collaboration with the cast and crew, he created a film that is both entertaining and thought-provoking, a classic example of 1960s American cinema. Released in 1960, Elmer Gantry is a classic film that has captured the hearts of many. Did you know that Burt Lancaster won an Academy Award for his portrayal of the title character? There are many fascinating facts about this movie that will leave you shocked, amused, and saddened. For instance, did you know that the film was based on a novel by Sinclair Lewis, who was the first American to win the Nobel Prize in Literature? Or that the film's release was delayed for a year due to censorship issues? This movie is full of surprises and interesting trivia. Did you have a favorite scene or character? Perhaps you were struck by the film's exploration of religion and morality, or maybe you simply enjoyed the entertaining performances and snappy dialogue. Whatever your connection to Elmer Gantry, we would love to hear your stories and memories in the comments below. Whether you watched it for the first time recently or have fond memories of seeing it in the past, this classic film is sure to leave a lasting impression. So sit back, relax, and get ready to discover some surprising facts about Elmer Gantry. The production of Elmer Gantry took place in 1960, with sets designed to capture the essence of the film's story. The set design team, led by art director George W. Davis and set decorator Henry Grace, created a variety of locations, including churches, revival tents, and city streets. They paid meticulous attention to detail, ensuring that each set accurately reflected the time period and social context of the story. One notable set was a massive revival tent, which housed the evangelical meetings led by Sister Sharon Falconer, played by Gene Simmons. This set required innovative construction techniques, as it needed to be both large enough to accommodate the cast and crew, and authentic enough to convince audiences of its authenticity. The team used a metal frame and covered it with canvas, creating a realistic and imposing structure that became a focal point of the film. In addition to the studio sets, the production also utilized exterior locations to add depth and variety to the film's visual landscape. Scenes were shot in various parts of California, including San Francisco and Los Angeles, to represent the different cities and towns visited by the traveling evangelists. These exterior shots helped to ground the film in reality, providing a stark contrast to the more theatrical elements of the revival meetings. However, filming on location presented its own set of challenges. The production team had to navigate permits, logistics, and weather conditions while ensuring that the cast and crew remained safe and comfortable. One particularly memorable challenge occurred during the filming of a scene in which Elmer Gantry, played by Burt Lancaster, leads a procession through a bustling city street. The team had to coordinate the movements of hundreds of extras, as well as manage traffic and maintain a safe environment for the cast and crew. Despite these challenges, the production of Elmer Gantry was marked by innovation and creativity. Cinematographer Robert Surtees employed cutting-edge techniques, such as using wide-angle lenses and shooting in deep focus to create a dynamic and immersive visual experience. These choices helped to elevate the film, distinguishing it from other productions of the time and contributing to its enduring legacy. In all, the production of Elmer Gantry was a complex and ambitious endeavor, requiring the collaboration of hundreds of skilled professionals. Through their combined efforts, they created a timeless classic that continues to captivate audiences with its powerful storytelling and striking visuals. The movie Elmer Gantry, released in 1960, tells the story of a traveling salesman who becomes an evangelist preacher. The film is based on the novel of the same name by Sinclair Lewis, who won the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1930. The main character, Elmer Gantry, is played by Burt Lancaster, who won the Academy Award for Best Actor for his performance. Shirley Jones, who plays a key role in the film as a religious leader, also won an Academy Award for her performance. The film is set in the early 20th century and explores themes of religion, morality, and hypocrisy. Gantry starts off as a charismatic but immoral salesman, but he becomes drawn into the world of evangelism and becomes a successful preacher. However, his past catches up with him, and he must confront the consequences of his actions. The movie was directed by Richard Brooks, who was also nominated for an Academy Award for his work. The film's screenplay, also written by Brooks, was based on Lewis's novel. Elmer Gantry was well received by critics and audiences alike. It was praised for its strong performances, particularly from Lancaster and Jones, as well as its thought-provoking themes and sharp dialogue. The film's exploration of religion and morality remains relevant today and continues to spark discussion and debate. Overall, Elmer Gantry is a classic film that is worth watching for its compelling story, strong performances, and relevant themes. Whether you are a fan of classic cinema or simply looking for a thought-provoking movie, Elmer Gantry is sure to deliver. The music in Elmer Gantry was crucial in enhancing the movie's narrative and emotional tone. Composed by Andre Previn, the soundtrack skillfully underscores the dramatic tension and character developments throughout the film. Previn's music captures the fervor and complexity of Elmer Gantry's journey, from his charismatic rise to his moral reckoning. Musicians such as the orchestra and soloists contributed to the rich, evocative score that resonates with the era's fervent spirit. In 1960, two talented actresses, Gene Simmons and Shirley Jones, made their mark in Hollywood. Simmons starred alongside Kirk Douglas in the classic Spartacus, while Jones's portrayal of a prostitute in Elmer Gantry earned her an Oscar for Best Supporting Actress. Interestingly, Jones and Elizabeth Taylor are the only actresses to win Oscars for playing prostitutes in the same year, with Taylor winning for Butterfield 8. Before the film adaptation, Elmer Gantry was a successful novel that was turned into a play in 1928. The play opened in New York City on 7 August and ran for 48 performances, featuring Edward Pauley as Elmer Gantry and Vera Allen as Sharon Falconer. Elmer Gantry tells the story of a charismatic traveling salesman who becomes a powerful evangelist, only to be exposed for his hypocrisy. The film is a classic example of the power of persuasion and the dangers of deceit. Jones's portrayal of a prostitute-turned-evangelist is a standout performance that highlights the complexities of human nature and the power of redemption. One of the most iconic scenes in Elmer Gantry is the tent revival sequence. The director, Richard Brooks, uses dynamic camera movements and quick cuts to create a frenzied atmosphere, capturing the raw emotion and energy of the evangelical meeting. The performance of Shirley Jones, who plays Sister Sharon Falconer, is particularly noteworthy. Her passionate delivery and physicality are captivating, embodying the charismatic and seductive nature of the evangelical preacher. The cinematography in this scene is also remarkable. The use of wide-angle lenses and low-key lighting creates a sense of intimacy and tension, drawing the audience into the emotional turmoil of the characters. The camera work is fluid and agile, following the actors as they move around the stage, capturing every gesture and expression. Brooks himself spoke about the challenges of filming this scene, stating, "We had to create a sense of chaos and pandemonium while maintaining control over the camera and actors. It was a delicate balance, but I think we achieved something special." Another unforgettable scene is the hotel room confrontation between Elmer Gantry, played by Burt Lancaster, and Sister Sharon. The tension between the two characters is palpable, as Gantry tries to seduce Sharon while she struggles with her own desires and beliefs. The performances of both actors are exceptional, with Lancaster's charm and charisma contrasting sharply with Jones's vulnerability and innocence. The cinematography in this scene is more subdued, with a focus on close-ups and medium shots that capture the nuances of the actors' expressions. The use of shadows and light creates a sense of moral ambiguity, reflecting the complex nature of the characters and their relationship. Lancaster spoke about his experience working with Jones in this scene, stating, "Shirley was such a talented and dedicated actress. We had a great rapport, and I think that really came through in our scenes together. It was a pleasure to work with her." These iconic scenes have had a lasting impact on audiences, showcasing the power of cinema to explore complex themes and emotions. The film's exploration of religion, morality, and human nature remains as relevant today as it was in 1960, making Elmer Gantry a true classic of American cinema. After its release, Burt Lancaster received a letter from a childhood friend who noted a strong resemblance between Lancaster's character in the film and his own real-life personality during their youth. This observation speaks to Lancaster's ability to embody his characters authentically. In addition to Lancaster's performance, the film also featured Hugh Marlowe, who had the unique distinction of appearing in 3 Best Picture nominees: 12 O'Clock High, All About Eve, and Elmer Gantry. Interestingly, All About Eve won the award in 1950. The film's production underwent some changes when Don Amici, who was originally cast as William L. Morgan, had to leave the project due to delays. Dean Jagger stepped in to replace him, ultimately delivering a memorable performance. Overall, Elmer Gantry boasted a talented cast and showcased Lancaster's ability to convincingly portray complex characters. Elmer Gantry, the 1960 movie, made a significant cultural and social impact. Starring Burt Lancaster and Gene Simmons, this classic resonated with audiences due to its exploration of religious hypocrisy and moral corruption. The film was based on Sinclair Lewis's novel, which won the Pulitzer Prize in 1927, further adding to its appeal. The movie struck a chord with audiences who were becoming increasingly skeptical of organized religion. It exposed the dangers of blind faith and the exploitation of vulnerable individuals by charismatic preachers. The film's raw and unapologetic depiction of these issues sparked conversations and debates about the role of religion in society. Elmer Gantry also influenced pop culture in various ways. The film's exploration of religious hypocrisy and moral corruption became a popular theme in literature, music, and other forms of media. The character of Elmer Gantry himself became a cultural icon, representing the duplicitous and manipulative preacher. Moreover, the movie contributed to discussions on relevant social or cultural themes. It challenged the notion of blindly following authority figures and encouraged audiences to question the motives of those in positions of power. The film also highlighted the importance of individual morality and personal responsibility, themes that continue to resonate with audiences today. In addition, Elmer Gantry's impact extended beyond its initial release. The film's exploration of religious hypocrisy and moral corruption remains relevant today, as these issues continue to be a source of controversy and debate. The movie serves as a reminder of the dangers of exploiting vulnerable individuals and the importance of individual morality and personal responsibility. Overall, Elmer Gantry's cultural and social impact cannot be overstated. The movie resonated with audiences, influenced pop culture, and contributed to discussions on relevant social or cultural themes. Its exploration of religious hypocrisy and moral corruption remains relevant today, making it a true classic that continues to captivate audiences. Burt Lancaster, known for his memorable performances, appeared in 8 films nominated for the Best Picture Oscar. Only one, From Here to Eternity, took home the prize. One of these nominated films were Elmer Gantry. Initially, director Richard Brooks did not want Shirley Jones for the role of Lulu Bains. However, Lancaster insisted, and Jones' performance ultimately won Brooks's praise. The film is an adaptation of the novel Elmer Gantry by Sinclair Lewis. To comply with the Hays Code, certain changes were made. In the original novel, Elmer Gantry was an ordained minister. This aspect was omitted from the film due to the code's prohibition of negative portrayals of priests. The filmmakers had to walk a fine line to maintain the story's integrity while adhering to the code's restrictions. This is just one example of how the film's production was influenced by external factors. The resulting film remains a classic, with strong performances that continue to resonate today. Elmer Gantry, the 1960 movie, received critical acclaim and accolades for its bold and provocative portrayal of religious hypocrisy. The film's director, Richard Brooks, was highly praised for his daring and uncompromising vision. Bosley Crowther of the New York Times lauded Brooks for his extraordinary direction and superb cast. The film's leads, Burt Lancaster and Gene Simmons, were also singled out for their exceptional performances. Lancaster, who played the titular character, won the Academy Award for Best Actor for his portrayal of the charismatic, yet duplicitous evangelist. Simmons, who played Sister Sharon Falconer, received an Academy Award nomination for Best Actress for her nuanced and powerful performance. The film's screenplay, also written by Brooks, was based on the novel of the same name by Sinclair Lewis. The adaptation was widely praised for its faithfulness to the source material and its incisive critique of religious fundamentalism. The film's bold and unapologetic stance resonated with audiences and critics alike. Elmer Gantry's success at the 33rd Academy Awards was a testament to its quality and impact. In addition to Lancaster's win and Simmons' nomination, the film received nominations for Best Picture, Best Director, Best Supporting Actress, Best Adapted Screenplay, and Best Cinematography. The film's 4 Academy Award wins were a significant achievement and solidified its place in cinema history. The accolades received by Elmer Gantry were well-deserved and served as a recognition of the film's artistic and cultural significance. The awards and nominations were not only a validation of the talent and hard work of those involved in the film, but also a reflection of the film's impact on audiences and the industry. This classic remains a powerful and thought-provoking exploration of religious hypocrisy and the allure of charismatic leaders, leaving a lasting mark on the world of cinema. In the 1960 film Elmer Gantry, singer and actress Patti Page made her debut. The movie is based on Sinclair Lewis's novel, and when Lewis first learned that Richard Brooks wanted to adapt it, he advised him to make significant changes. Lewis suggested that Brooks read all the criticisms of the book and use them to improve the story. One character in the movie, Jim Lefferts, is based on H.L. Mencken. Gantry mentions Mencken at approximately the 88th minute of the film. In the making of Elmer Gantry, Burt Lancaster, who played the lead role, was known for his intense preparation. He even grew a mustache to resemble the character's appearance better. However, the film's director, Richard Brooks, found it too overpowering. Consequently, Lancaster had to shave it off, only to wear a fake one throughout the shoot. Shirley Jones, cast as Sister Rachel, was initially hesitant about her role due to its provocative nature, but Richard Brooks convinced her, assuring that he would ensure the film remained tasteful. Indeed, Jones's performance earned her an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress. The film's production faced opposition from various religious groups who objected to its critical portrayal of evangelism. During filming in a real church, a group of protesters disrupted the shoot, leading to a tense confrontation. Brooks, however, managed to defuse the situation, and they resumed shooting. Gene Simmons, playing Sister Sharon Falconer, had a challenging time filming the scene where her character's revival tent collapses. The crew used real fire, and Simmons had to act as if she were in danger. Despite the risks, she managed to deliver a convincing performance. Despite the controversies, Elmer Gantry was a critical and commercial success. It won 3 Academy Awards, including Best Actor for Lancaster, Best Supporting Actress for Jones and Best Screenplay for Brooks. The film's exploration of religious hypocrisy and moral ambiguity remains relevant today. In the movie Elmer Gantry, there's a brief scene where Sister Sharon is seen outside a movie theater, advertising a film. The stars mentioned are Rudolph Valentino and Agnes Ayres, suggesting that the film is almost certainly The Sheik from 1921. The production of this classic faced initial challenges as no studio was willing to finance it due to the controversial nature of the source material. The novel, also named Elmer Gantry, was highly contentious in its time. Interestingly, Burt Lancaster, who played the lead role, intended the film as a critique of Billy Graham. This context provides an additional layer of depth to Lancaster's portrayal of the charismatic, yet flawed title character. Released in 1960, Elmer Gantry left a significant mark on film history. The movie, based on Sinclair Lewis's novel, dared to critique religious hypocrisy, stirring controversy and intrigue. This boldness paved the way for future filmmakers to tackle provocative subjects. Unafraid of backlash, Richard Brooks, the director, showcased his storytelling prowess by seamlessly blending drama, romance, and satire. His approach influenced various filmmakers, inspiring them to experiment with genre-bending narratives. The film's compelling characters, particularly Elmer Gantry, a charismatic yet fraudulent preacher, served as a study for future anti-heroes in cinema. Elmer Gantry also made an impact on the acting world. Burt Lancaster's transformative performance as Gantry earned him an Academy Award, setting a high standard for actors portraying complex characters. His nuanced depiction of a morally ambiguous figure resonated with audiences and critics alike, encouraging subsequent explorations of multidimensional characters. The movie's exploration of religion's role in society transcended its era, inspiring numerous adaptations and reinterpretations. From television miniseries to stage productions, Elmer Gantry's influence has stepped into various artistic realms. Its examination of faith, manipulation, and redemption continues to captivate audiences, weaving a timeless tale that endures in the annals of film history. Richard Brooks, the director of Elmer Gantry, had a memorable encounter with Sinclair Lewis, the author of the novel, years before the movie's production. After expressing his interest in adapting Elmer Gantry for the screen, Lewis advised him to make a movie, not a book if he ever got the chance. Brooks took this advice to heart, optioning the book for 11 years before finally obtaining the necessary funds. Elmer Gantry was the final film for actress Mary Adams Hayes, who likely appreciated the significance of the project. Richard Brooks was known for being tough on his actors and keeping the script hidden to prevent it from being stolen. Shirley Jones, one of the film's stars, recounts her experiences with Brooks, describing him as hard on his actors, but also respected for his talents. Despite the challenges, Elmer Gantry was completed, and has since become a classic in its own right. The film's production is a testament to the enduring appeal of Sinclair Lewis's work, and the dedication of those involved in bringing it to the screen. In the 1960 film Elmer Gantry, Arthur Kennedy delivered a noteworthy performance, having previously starred in 3 movies nominated for the Best Picture Oscar Peyton Place, Elmer Gantry, and Lawrence of Arabia, with the latter winning the award. The movie's cast also boasted 3 Oscar winners, Burt Lancaster, Dean Jagger, and Shirley Jones, as well as 2 Oscar nominees, Gene Simmons and Arthur Kennedy. During one of the sermons in the movie, Elmer Gantry criticizes several writers, including Sinclair Lewis, the author of the book the film is based on. This self-referential aspect adds depth to the movie, making it a unique exploration of the source material. In Elmer Gantry, a film included in the American Film Institute's list of 400 nominated movies for the top 100 greatest American movies, George F. Babbitt, a character from Sinclair Lewis's 1922 novel Babbitt, plays a significant role. Babbitt is the landlord of a brothel, and is responsible for bringing Sister Sharon's revival to his hometown of Zenith. Gene Simmons, who appears in Elmer Gantry, has an impressive filmography with 4 Oscar Best Picture nominees, including Great Expectations, Hamlet, The Robe, and Elmer Gantry. Out of these, Hamlet won the award for Best Picture in 1948. Simmons' involvement in this classic film is just one of the many reasons Elmer Gantry remains noteworthy in the world of cinema. Dean Jagger, known for his roles in multiple Oscar-nominated films, including Elmer Gantry, had a distinguished career. In Elmer Gantry, he competed with other actors for the leading roles, ultimately beating Piper Laurie for a co-starring role. The production team took measures to ensure the film's adaptation from the novel remained confidential, providing only the 6 major stars with access to the complete screenplay. This approach added an element of secrecy to the making of this classic. In the casting process of Elmer Gantry, both Christopher Plummer and Susan Hayward were considered for roles. However, it was Richard Brooks who dedicated 7 months to preparing the script alongside Burt Lancaster. Shirley Jones's exceptional performance in this classic earned her an Academy Award, which remains her only nomination to date. The film Elmer Gantry, released in 1960, holds a significant place in American cinema. It was recognized among the 250 movies nominated for the American Film Institute's 2005 list of 100 years of film scores. The movie's impact extends to the acting world, where Shirley Jones, who played a crucial role, received the Best Supporting Actress Oscar at the 33rd Annual Academy Awards in 1961. Interestingly, a contestant named Lawrence Jadron, on a 1959 episode of The Price is Right, won a bit part in Elmer Gantry. However, it remains undetermined whether he filmed his role or appeared in the final cut of the picture. This anecdote adds a unique layer to the film's production history. In the movie Elmer Gantry, William Holden successfully secured the lead role after lobbying for it. However, Pat Hingle, who was initially cast as Elmer Gantry, faced a tragic accident before filming began. He fell down a 54-foot elevator shaft in his apartment building, resulting in severe injuries that forced him to give up the part. The film is set in the 1920s and features a character named Babbitt, who expresses anti-Catholic sentiments towards a U.S. presidential candidate. This remark was particularly relevant to audiences in 1960, as John F. Kennedy, a Catholic, was running for president that year. Interestingly, Babbitt's complaint implies that the candidate is Al Smith, governor of New York, who ran for president multiple times in the 1920s, and became the Democrats' nominee in 1928. This historical context adds depth to the film and makes it more engaging for viewers. In Elmer Gantry, a preacher delivers a venomous sermon condemning various heresies, among them Russellism, a reference to Charles Taze Russell, the inaugural president of the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society, the legal entity of Jehovah's Witnesses. The film's leading actor, Burt Lancaster, an avowed atheist, portrayed the corrupt evangelist as an anti-Billy Graham statement, earning him a Best Actor Oscar. Notably, Elmer Gantry marked the final film appearance of Bud Buster. This classic film certainly offers a unique perspective on religion and morality, leaving a lasting impression on its audience. Even in the novel's time, Sister Sharon Falconer was known to be based on contemporary evangelist Aimee Semple McPherson. The film's director, Richard Brooks, had his eyes set on James Cagney or Montgomery Clift for the lead role. Interestingly, both Hugh Marlowe and Dean Jagger had previously acted together in the 1949 movie 12 O'Clock High. In the movie Elmer Gantry, both Edward Andrews and Max Showalter played significant roles. Interestingly, 2 decades later, they would reunite in the John Hughes teen classic 16 Candles, this time as Molly Ringwald's grandfathers. Max Showalter's connection to Elmer Gantry doesn't end there. His daughter, Cy Lancaster, also has an uncredited role in the film as a child in the audience. The movie Elmer Gantry, therefore, has an unexpected link to 16 Candles, bridging the gap between 2 generations of actors. This classic film, while released in 1960, has left a lasting impact, extending beyond its initial release and resonating with future generations. Following its 1960 release, a musical adaptation of the film debuted on Broadway in the summer of 1969. Starring Robert Shaw, it closed after just 1 week, despite its attempt to capitalize on the movie's popularity. In the 1960 film Elmer Gantry, a shocking fact lies in the casting of its lead actor, Burt Lancaster. Previously, Lancaster had portrayed a different character in the stage adaptation of Sinclair Lewis's novel, the source material for the movie. However, when it came time to bring the story to the big screen, Lancaster was cast in the role of Elmer Gantry, despite having already played another character. This change led to Lancaster's Academy Award win for Best Actor, showcasing the versatility of his talent. The film itself is a powerful exploration of religion, morality, and hypocrisy. Set in the early 20th century, it follows the story of Elmer Gantry, a smooth-talking traveling salesman who becomes involved with a revivalist preacher, Sister Sharon Falconer, played by Gene Simmons. As they gain popularity and followers, Gantry's past sins come back to haunt him, leading to a tragic downfall. The movie's in-depth examination of the intersection between religion and show business, as well as the exploration of human nature, and the consequences of one's actions make it a timeless classic. The film's tragic ending serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of hypocrisy and the fleeting nature of fame. Did you know that Elmer Gantry, the movie, caused quite a stir when it was released in 1960? This classic tackled serious themes like religious hypocrisy and morality, which were considered bold for its time. Perhaps you watched it back then and recall the controversy it sparked. Or maybe you've seen it more recently and were struck by its powerful performances and thought-provoking narrative. Either way, this film might have left an impression on you. We'd love to hear about your experiences and memories related to Elmer Gantry. How did it affect you personally? Did it change your perspective on cinema or make you think differently about certain issues? If you're willing to share, please leave a comment below. Tell us about the first time you saw the movie, who you watched it with, and what stood out to you. Your insights could inspire others to explore this classic film and its themes. And if you enjoy these cinematic explorations, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more. Together, let's keep the conversation about classic films alive.